Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're up to, hi. Hello, Annalise. Good morning. My name is Catherine Oster. I am a certifiable crazy lady facilitator with Access Consciousness. And this is Coffee Chat. And every Friday morning, I just jump on Facebook Live. Hello, Mom, on my Facebook page, and just chat. Just chat about all the things. And this week, what I really wanted to chat with you guys about is what has kept me choosing Access Consciousness and taking the classes and becoming a facilitator for the past, 9 years. What's kept me choosing that for 9 years? Hi, Loretta. Hello, Marilyn. Good morning, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. What has kept me choosing? So, I have a foundation class coming up. A foundation class is a class in Access Consciousness that I facilitate in Davidson, Saskatchewan. And I was chatting with these two gals, Krista and Kara, the twins. They're my hostesses, and they've been hosting me there for probably 3 or 4 years now, since I became a facilitator almost. Every year I go to Davidson once or twice a year for classes. And what has been showing up is we have the same people, plus new people each time, different people, but there's the same core group of people that always choose. They just always know that they want this, whatever this is, the change that they're going to receive from the foundation class or the Talk to the Entities class. And anyway, the gals, they were like, hey, Catherine, why don't we do like a Facebook Live with us and you and anybody else who wants to join that's going to be choosing this next class, talking about what keeps them choosing. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. So that is coming up. Hi, Lynn. We're going to be doing that next week. And don't worry, you'll know. I'll keep you in the loop with all of that. But that got me really considering, what has kept me choosing? What keeps me choosing? And another thing that kind of stimulated this was Facebook memories. A Facebook memory from me traveling to Paris, France, for my very first Choice of Possibilities class. Gary Douglas was facilitating it, and I got to travel with Glenise Hughes and her hubby to Paris. And that Facebook memory came up. That was back in 2016. So that was like 7 years ago. And that really got me like just looking back at my life and acknowledging that choice and the changes that it's created. So anyway, I sat down earlier this morning and I'm like, what keeps me choosing? And I kind of created a little timeline of events. So January, the fall of 2013, like it was like October or November of 2013 is the very first time I had my bars ran. And I remember, I'll never forget, Glenise Hughes was actually the facilitator who ran my bars for the first time. And she asked me a question. She asked me if I could change anything in my life or have anything out of this bar session, what would it be? And I was struck silent because nobody has ever asked me what I wanted out of my life before or if there was something I wanted to change. I just thought that you had to work with the hand you were dealt. Hey, Michelle, that you couldn't ask for anything, that you had to just take what was given to you. So that shocked me. And I really looked at it. And I remember I asked for time. I did this weird thing with time where I was like always running late. And I was on maternity leave for my job with Helena, my daughter, who's 10 now. And I was teaching writing lessons. And I was really wanted to be professional and be early. But I felt like no matter what I did, no matter how early I started to get ready, I was always late by like 15 minutes. And I was so frustrated with it. And I asked for that to change. And so Glenise, we ran some clearing statements. She asked me some questions, and then she ran my bars. And I remember getting my bars ran that first time. I was so peaceful, and I felt so much lighter after, and happier, all of these things. And I never thought about time again. Never, felt like I had to force it. And then it was like a week or 10 days after, I was driving to lessons, and I looked at the clock, expecting to have this panic because I was going to be late. And I was early. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't even try. And I was early. And then everything after that was different with that for me. And I thought, holy shit, if that can change from one bar session, like what else is possible? So that was November 2013. So then I wanted more right away. And in January of 2014, like just 4 months later, I signed up for my first class, my first kind of telecall class, and it was with Glenise, and it was titled Creating Your Phenomenally Awesome Life. And I just knew at that point in my life, I didn't want to go back to work full time. My job felt like a limitation to me. And I knew it wasn't making me enough money. It was a really good paying job. But at the end of the day, I've always dreamed of having an indoor riding arena. And I started doing some research about how much it costs to build an arena and what are the mortgage payments going to look like. And I looked at my job and I'm like, I can't even afford to build a riding arena and make a mortgage payment with the job that I have, plus everything else in life. So I was like, well, I didn't know how I was going to start creating this money. I knew that the job wasn't going to work though anymore. And plus with my family, I wanted to spend more time with my kids. And Travis, we were really busy grain farming, and my busy time at work was his busy time on the farm, and we never saw each other, and it was just not working. Hey, Robert. And so I signed up for this online class, Creating Your Phenomenally Awesome Life. And I'm like, this is what I need right now, because this is not a phenomenally awesome life that I'm living. And so part of that was sitting down with Glenise and asking for what I wanted my life to be like. And I put out targets. What I wanted in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and beyond. And one of those targets was, hi, Krista, was the indoor riding arena. Now, I put it in the 10-year column, and this is in 2013, and I was like, this isn't even going to happen for 20 years. Like, if it happens in 20 years when I'm 50, I'll be happy. But I'm just going to put it in the 10-year column just in case. And so that, and then the program was just like some monthly coaching and questions and really using the tools to change the energy. And then in the fall of 2014, I took my very first bars and foundation class. And so that is like 8.5 years ago. I'm just looking at my list that I wrote down because sometimes I get distracted. So took my first foundation November 2014. And things were changing in my life. Like money was starting to show up differently. I was having more ease with things. Like things were changing. And I remember at my first foundation class, I looked at the back of the book and I wanted to be a facilitator like Glenise Hughes. I wanted to work with people like in the capacity that she did, empowering them to create change in their lives, knowing that they can change things. And I looked at all of the classes that were required to take before you became a facilitator, a certified facilitator. And then right away I was like, no, that's way too much. I have a family plus money. If you've ever looked into taking or have taken access classes, they are a little more money than most things. And that foundation class for me back then was like $1,600. And that was more money than I'd ever spent. So I look at this list and I'm like, there's no way I can afford. Plus back then, you had to travel and attend all of the classes live, whereas now a lot of them are online, so you can join from your home or wherever you are. So the additional travel expense. So I basically made it impossible to myself, and I kind of, no, I can't afford that. That's never going to happen kind of thing. So foundation 2014. And then in November 2016, the indoor riding arena was built in my yard, this building that I've dreamed of my whole life and that I didn't think would show up for 20 years, showed up in 2 years. 2 years. And I'm like, holy fuck. Never mind that, in the 2 years, I had created a coaching business with horses and people and riding lessons, a horse training business, and that supported me to pay the mortgage on this building plus live my life. I created that in 2 years. And I was like blown away by myself, actually. I'm like, is this really real? Like I would wake up in the morning and pinch myself. So that has kept me choosing more. I'm like, okay, this is amazing. Like I want more. What else can I ask for in my life? What else can I change? So that was 2016. 2 years after that, March of 2018, I took my first certified facilitator training. The thing that I thought was impossible showed up again. It's almost like I manipulate myself into telling myself I can't do this. And then I prove to myself that I can. So my first CF training in 2018. So I'm like more. And now as a facilitator, so I've shifted my whole life around. I've been able to create many different revenue streams of income, the way that money flows into my life. I still teach riding lessons. I still do horse training. I work at the Paradise Hill Ranch in Western Wear every Friday and sometimes other days too. I facilitate classes. And I have worked for other CFs, learning the ropes and minning. And I have so many different ways. I've created that since 2018. Different revenue streams to support my life financially. Plus, I have more time with my kids and my family and to be on the farm. And it literally is my phenomenally awesome life that I asked for to create in 2014. And really change things that I didn't think would change, like the homeschooling thing, like that I actually enjoy having my kids at home was not something that I would have enjoyed, that I really worked at enjoying over the last 2 years. Hey, Tanya. Hi, Linda, you ladies. And so those are the things that have really kept me choosing Access Consciousness and the classes and continuing to be a facilitator. I taught riding lessons yesterday, and there were these 2 ladies in particular that are just so different now. They've both actually had their bars run before. But one of them, she used to be so scared of her horse. And I pointed out to her yesterday, I'm like, do you notice that you're not in reaction to him anymore? Like her horse was always reactive and spooky, and she was always scared of that. Yesterday in our lesson, over the past, year, it's been a year of her choosing and changing things. She's different. She's confident in the saddle. She's having fun. She's considering showing, and she's showing up, and it's different. And I really noticed that in her yesterday, and I pointed it out, and she was like, hell yeah. And then another one too, like, and these, anyway, I have to, that's good enough for today, but that's what has kept me choosing. And I'm going to be going live with Krista and Kara and some other people that have chosen foundation classes with me in particular, but with anybody. What keeps them choosing? And I'm really curious to find out. So anyway, if you are, curious or interested at all in this Access Consciousness stuff, getting your bars ran, check out my website at katherineoster.com. There's some information there about the foundation class coming up. I also started facilitating Talk to the Entities, the spirit world, which has really been fun and interesting. And anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. I am grateful to those of you that join me live and to those of you watching this in the future and beyond. Mwah. Have an amazing day wherever you are, whatever you're up to. I wonder how much fun you can have today. Bye-bye for now.